foundation of our country, and this is not America that our grandfathers fought for. So it's so important to go out and vote. We're looking at Donald Trump's numbers last month. In the month of April, he raised more than Joe Biden. Is that because people are all of these issues, or is it the trial?
Yep, people are trying to help him out.
Yep. Speaking of that, this morning, Donald Trump is back in court for the final stretch of his New York trial, where former Cohen advisor Robert Costello took the stand, or he's going to take the stand again today after claiming Cohen's story is one big lie.
That testimony coming after Cohen admitted to stealing tens of thousands of dollars from his former boss, which I do believe is against the law.
Fox News legal editor Carrie Urban joins us now. Carrie, we were looking at all the messages that we were getting inside of the courtroom, and one of the things that I found astonishing was the interaction that the judge had with Costello. And you contrast that with what was happening when Stormy was on the stand. As someone who's a lawyer, a legal observer, what did you think about that moment?
That's probably why Bob Costello was getting so frustrated, because he probably also was thinking back to when Stormy Daniels was questioned, was allowed to say basically anything she wanted to, down to what kind of deodorant and shampoo the former president had in his bathroom cabinet. That really happened. Yeah, right, old sight.
Seeing ghosts.
I know, right. It's just talking with the dead, which is just crazy. But anyway, so think about how irrelevant all of that information is. Meanwhile, Bob Costello would just try to answer basic questions about emails that he was on or meetings that he was a part of, and the prosecution just kept objecting. So it would be like 10 seconds. And then, Costello's been a lawyer, a pretty prominent one for 40, 50 years, maybe even more. And so he's been around the block a lot. He's been in these courtrooms, and he was getting frustrated. So he started muttering under his breath. He was making faces. He was making, looking at the judge.
Which he shouldn't have been doing.
Right. So, you can't do that. You really shouldn't when you're a witness on the stand. At the same time, you can understand his frustration.
Absolutely.
And the judge really got frustrated.
Okay, so Michael Cohen, the prosecution had built him up. Look, he's a liar, but he's our star witness.
Right.
He's a liar. And yesterday we found out, the cover of the New York Post, liar, con artist, and thief. He stole money from his boss.
Unbelievable.
Which is a bigger crime than what Donald Trump is being charged with.
It was a shocking moment in the flow room, to the point where we were hitting each other. People in the room saying, "Did we know about this?" Because how is this the end of the trial and the star witness admits that he was stealing from Trump as he was negotiating that repayment plan, the repayment plan that is central to the case? And so it was stunning. And I have to say, when we came back and the prosecution was trying to rehabilitate his credibility, and by the way, this is how they were doing it, by going back through all these past statements he'd made and saying, but that was false, right? That was false. Even Michael Cohen was getting confused about which was false and which wasn't. And so at this point, I'm thinking, I can't even listen to this anymore. So if I'm thinking that after this whole, stunning, stealing revelation, I was wondering, how does the jury must be thinking?
What happens today in court?
So we'll hear more from Bob Costello, direct examination, cross-examination. That could go on for, I would say, even a couple of hours. And then we're going to do something, or have something called a charging conference. This is a very important thing, where the lawyers get with the judge and talk about how is the jury going to be instructed, how is the jury going to be instructed on the law. And this can get testy.
This is critical.
Yeah, it is. It's critical, especially given the fact the judge is not letting that election law expert come in and testify, which is really unfortunate, given that there's a lot of context around election law that the jury will now not be able to hear.
Is that because people have said they want to hear from the election commissioner, or whatever his title is, because he was saying it's unethical to give money to a candidate like this judge did? He gave money to Biden.
I think it's because he's concerned that he is going to go off script and talk about things that are not directly related to his job title. The thing is, he kind of needs to, for people to understand how this works, mainly that if a candidate pays for something personally, then that's not a campaign contribution. And Donald Trump here paid for that compensation for that legal NDA personally.
All right, an hour and 11 minutes. It starts again. Carrie, thank you very much.
Thank you.